Hello and welcome back to These Blind Eyes 6580. Thanks for all the subscribes, the likes, sharing the video. Essentially, thanks for the support. So, today is kind of a bitching video. So, there's all kinds of organizations for blind people. And when it comes down to it, the majority of them don't do a whole lot for blind people. But one that I have increasingly grown irritated with is the American Council of the Blind. Now, the reason I took special care to enunciate its name is there's a pretty big difference between saying the American Council for the Blind and the American Council of the Blind. Now, for the blind would indicate that the organization is for blind people. Now, when you say of the blind, it indicates it's made up of blind people. So, the first thing that you find out when you look them up on Wikipedia, they have sighted people as well as blind people in this organization. Now, I'm curious because something me and some other fellow employees discovered about the Chicago Lighthouse for the Blind is not one visually impaired person was in their upper management. Not one. So I'm kind of curious how many are actually in the management of the American Councils of the Blind and how many are sighted people. So, I'd never even heard of them until somebody had shared the group in another blind group. And so I went ahead and joined it or whatever. And they have rules to their page, and one of the rules is that you have to, like, if you're going to make a post, it has to pertain to blind people. And I have seen multiple people share things that have nothing to do with blind people on there. Whether it's podcast episodes, YouTube videos like this, whatever. But I shared a video or tried to share a podcast. Every post has to be approved by an admin in that group. Fine. Well, they declined it when I shared my podcast episode, Little MB, episode 99 on AI. And it's like, how the hell does artificial intelligence not apply to blind people? It is in every piece of technology blind people use. You know, I can't even see what's on my t-shirts anymore. I just used an app literally 5 minutes ago called Seeing AI to find out what my shirt said. And for those who are blind, it says Noah was a conspiracy theorist and then it rained. So, just to give you an idea, or let you know what it said. But it's in everything. So I just don't understand how the hell that's not applicable, for one. For two, when every day they have a post from one of their admins, I would assume, that says, every morning a question is posed to the group and we like to share it with you on Facebook. It's what's your favorite kind of music? What's your favorite color? First off, what's your favorite color? And yes, I came across that post a while back. It's like, for blind people? Okay. But 99% of those posts have nothing to do with blind people. Don't pertain to blind people. And so I couldn't find their list of admins. And hey, that's my technological ignorance. But since every post has to be approved by an admin, I went ahead and created a post. It basically said, yeah, I couldn't find the buttons for an admin, so I could ask a question, regarding something, blah, 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 regarding a post. And so the admin that has to approve or disapprove, instead of just contacting me and saying, well, hey, I noticed this post you were making, how about let's message this guy and find out what's going on. What's his question? They just approved the post. Didn't say nothing on it. And it sat like that for how long before I commented? And my comment was snarky because I got no answer. And so the best answer I got was a reason's given if it's declined. Yeah, it is. But guess what? I still have questions, or is that just it? And so finally, the guy that actually declined my post that was about AI, he's like, I declined it and the reason was given. I was like, I know, and the reason was BS and untrue. Because it does apply to blind people. AI applies to blind people in everything we freaking use for technology. And so I had already left the group, but the jackass still went ahead and gave me a warning, a strike toward my membership in their group. It's like, jerk off, I already left your group. Fuck off. You know, it just, the ignorance and hypocrisy of that kind of stuff is just, because it amounts to who are you friends with? You know, who do you know? And who are you friends with? That's what it amounts to. And since I'm not friends with anybody that's in the group, you know, then guess what? I don't get the same fair treatment as everybody else. So it's just irritating. Irritating, especially when you have, you know, and for sighted people, sorry, I know this is kind of a bitch, but blind people have enough to deal with when it comes to acceptance in certain areas, respect in certain areas, and being taken serious in certain areas. The last place that us as blind or visually impaired people need to experience it is within a blind organization, especially a national one like the American Council of the Blind. So that's my bitch about them, and that's my bitch for the day. But, you know, and there's, like I said, I don't know about the NFB, National Federation for the Blind, or any of them. You know, I'm not a member of their group on Facebook. I don't pay their fees and stuff like that. Because here's the funny thing about groups, like the National or American Council of the Blind and stuff like that. You have to pay a membership fee to be a member. Now, you'd think an organization like that would receive federal funding, maybe some state funding, maybe some donations from other organizations such as the Lions Club, who have done a lot to help the visually impaired. But you have to pay a fee to join the group, so being blind is not enough. You got to pay. You know, and considering how little we live on every month when you're blind and on disability, you know, it's just kind of funny. So I'm kind of curious as to how much these people make that are running the organization itself, because this is something that I've picked up on when it comes to organizations. They don't want to cure the problem. They don't want to cure it, because if the problem goes away, then so does their cause, so does their organization, so does their jobs, and then they have nothing to do anymore. So a lot of these organizations get to play like they're to help people when all they're doing is sitting and collecting the check. I mean, look at BLM, you know, all these poor folks that donated to the cause because it was a good cause, and what do the people in charge do? Start building massive houses with the money. You know, it's it's what people do. They want those big jobs, and then it's, you know, job security to make sure those problems don't go away. And occasionally they can toss people a bone and say, look at what we did. Look at what we achieved together. Kiss my ass. You know? But my opinion on it, and definitely my opinion on the American Council of the Blind, ACB, community, and all their happy horseshit. Fuck off. Your organization sucked anyway, and so did your Facebook page. So, until next time, y'all take care.